There we go. See who we got on here already. Got one person on here already. It's been a long week this week. I've been up in Manila almost all week this week. I think actually every single day I've been up in Manila. One of the days I was in Alabang, but I mean Alabang is actually part of, I guess you could say, part of Manila. So, because it's on the outskirts of Manila. So, but yeah, I was in Alabang. Alabang is actually a fun place to go. We're gonna wait for a few people to get on here, and then we went up to get the license up in Quezon City, which was kind of an experience. But it took only about an hour and 8 or 10 minutes or something like that. It was really, really quick. So, who we got on here now? We got somebody on here waiting. I'm not sure if maybe it's on a TV or whatever. Okay, we have 5 people on here. Let's see, who we got on here now? Lee and Blair's on here. How you doing, Lee and Blair? Let's see, who else we got on here? We're up to 7 now. Hopefully we get some people on here. We get some questions going and stuff like that tonight. Looks like we're going to have a good show tonight. Let's see, we're only a minute in. We got 9 people already. So this is good. DOJ Thump, how you doing? Let's see who else we got on here. Wait till we get some more people on here. Get this rolling. But yeah, it's been a good week. It was really busy, kind of tiring this week. We got some good videos coming out over the next few days too, and some good content. See, Carl Stevens, morning, evening to you. How you doing, Carl? Lee and Blair from 1st January 2022. France says good morning, or good afternoon rather. Yeah, this week here we're going to be going someplace, guys. I'm not sure where we're going, but we're going to videotape a good chunk of it so we can put it out. So we got some good stuff coming up. Let's see. Kat Jasarian says, how you doing, Steve? D&J Thump says, great, thanks. Let's see. Ahoy from Guam. There we go. Hey, does Guam have a VFW, not a VFW, a VA hospital there? Like a full VA hospital, or is it just a clinic over there? Maybe you might know, Kevin. See, John Miller says, hi, Steve, from warm Pennsylvania. There we go. I heard it was like 54 up there, or something like that, somewhere around this, 54, 55. Michael Onstead says, good evening from La Union Province. How you doing, Michael? Funny Boy Pete's Burgers. Hello, boys. Liam Blair says, sorry, from January 1st, from 1st January 2022, it's mandatory to be vaccinated to go into any buildings in Cebu City. Same with kids 12 to 17. Wow, that's a rough one, because if you need to go into like a city hall or whatever, that's going to be rough. So it's almost like forcing you to get vaccinated, kind of. Well, I mean, I'm vaccinated. I didn't really want to get vaccinated. I'll be totally honest with you. I was totally against it, but I just said, you know what? I'm not gonna make my life that hard. I'm just gonna go get it, and I got it done. I wasn't happy about it, but it would just make traveling difficult to any other country. You'd be, quarantined and all that stuff. I says, no, I'm not gonna do that to myself. So I got it, but I wasn't happy. Larry Strickland says, Larry and Ayana from General Santos City. How you doing, Larry? Good to see you on here. Jim in Florida, morning from Florida. How you doing, Jim? We have a lot of people from Florida, actually. We have quite a few. Is from Florida and Ontario. Another state that we have a lot of people from is California. So we have a lot of followers from those areas. D&J Thump, Dean and Jean, we enjoy your vlog. See, Michael Lagasse says, I have a passport, but why do I need a visa to take a vacation in the Philippines? Well, as of now, that's what you can't even get in here as a tourist right now unless you have a 9A. You can come in here to finish the application for a visa under the retiree program. So, I mean, that's just the way it is right now, unfortunately. And a lot of other countries, it's the same way. They're not doing the tourist thing where you get your visa stamp on, as soon as you enter the airport, they just stamp your visa and you're on your way, and you're in the Philippines pretty much from a lot of unrestricted countries anyway. Kevin Douglas, VA clinic, but only telephone appointments. I have been here for March 8th, 2021. Interesting. Let's see. So you only have a clinic over there too. So some of the guys over here were talking about using the hospital in Guam. And I told them, I says, it's not a hospital, it's a clinic just like over here in the Philippines. And they said, no, it's a full hospital, but it's not. So I was correct. Jim in Florida says restrictions start tomorrow for flying into the USA. Yeah, it's going to be rough, and this is not that bad of a variant I heard too. So that's kind of crazy. I think it's more like a cold, and they're just making a big deal out of it. But anyway, it is what it is. This is getting out of control. Let's see. D&J Trump Thump says we are hoping to move in April, heading to Cavite. Yeah, Cavite is a nice area, man. I'm not sure if you mean Cavite province or Cavite the town. But yeah, Cavite, this whole area is nice. I don't particularly like Cavite itself, though. Kevin Douglas says Navy Hospital available to vets. Okay, that changes things then. That's interesting, Kevin. Thanks for putting that out there. So is the Navy Hospital there a decent hospital over there in Guam as a choice for veterans coming from the Philippines? Have you heard of any veterans coming from the Philippines to Guam to use the hospital there? Have you heard of any about that, Kevin? That'd be interesting for us guys to know. But Funny Boy Pete's Burger says, does the Philippines have reruns of Gilligan's Island and Get Smart? Actually, yes, they do. I think on some of the channels like Pluto and stuff like that, or Hulu, you can get that. Absolutely. I've actually seen Gilligan's Island. I think maybe even Get Smart on there too. But I know Gilligan's Island was on there, on one of them. I have like about 6 of them on there. Steve Ford says, hi, Steve. My fiance took the kids for the jab in Cebu. Took them 8 hours to get out from start. Yeah, it takes a long time, unfortunately. See, Carl Stevens says, St. Augustine, Florida, 54 degrees this morning. That's pretty cool. A lot of guys here from Florida. That's interesting. Dick, you guys think, I would think that you guys would be like happy in Florida and wanting to retire there and everything. But I guess Florida can get boring too. Dickie Spaz says, huge crypto market correction right now. Great time to buy. Yeah, it might be a good time to buy, actually. Kevin Douglas says, Navy Hospital available for veterans. Okay. So that might be a good take for some of the veterans over here to have, if they have an emergency, just to go over there and get treated over there. But I wonder how do they have the same thing over there that they have here? Because that's actually part of the United States, so they shouldn't have like the service connections only, I would hope. I would hope they wouldn't anyway. Let's see. Cindy G says, hi, how you doing, Cindy? Lee and Blair, a lot of OFL countries, it seems, are starting to take the hard approach and make their citizens get vaccinated, or you're not allowed in malls, gyms, salons, basically anywhere. Yeah, it's kind of like making you a pariah. Like, you're no good for any, it's awful that they treat people like that, but unfortunately, that's the way the world's headed these days. The whole world is really going down the toilet lately, and nobody gets up to stand up. And I understand what you're getting at, because I think that people have the right, to make a choice on something like that, especially, something that goes into your body. Brooke Snyder says, Largo, Florida, on point. There you go, Brooke. February. My best guess? I think by the end of this month, they're going to know whether this is a really bad variant or it's just a nothing burger. I honestly think it's nothing, okay? And I think we'll end up opening sometime towards the end of January, beginning of February. So that's probably a good guess what you're saying, probably February. Kevin Douglas, I came from the Philippines trying to get my Filipino wife and daughter here to Guam. Let's see. And Liam Blair says, at Jim in Florida, I just doubt it. Bill Murdoch says, hello from Tennessee. There's another state that we get a lot of people from. How you doing, Bill? Good to see you back on here, man. DJ Joe, good evening, Steve. How you doing, DJ? Apex 512, hello all. Welcome back, Apex. Michael Onset, problem is getting on the airplane with a health emergency. Yeah, you're right. Especially now, if you have like a lung issue or something like that, you ain't getting on any plane if you're coughing or you're having any issue like that. They ain't have any of that. You're just a dead man, I would say. If you're in the Philippines and you're trying to get out for a health emergency, not happening. And there's no way you're going to go through all those health procedures and all the things for the PCR tests in time to get out of here, with all that stuff going on. They're just not going to rush you out of the country. No way, no how. Because with the PCR test now, It's like you have to get that. That probably takes you a couple of days right there alone. So you ain't buying a plane ticket and jumping on the plane, a couple hours before. There's no way that's happening anymore. In fact, you'd be lucky if you could get it a week out. So getting on the airplane with the health emergency. Yes, exactly. Dickie Spaz says 300,000 marching in Melbourne yesterday for freedom. Man, that's good. I wish the United States would do that. I really do, to get off this stuff and stop it, because I think everybody's getting really tired of this, and it just needs to stop and let the economy go back to where it is. I mean, look at the United States. The United States is a mess right now. They're spending money to like it's monopoly money over there. It just and I think that the whole country is going to end up going broke within 5 years at the rate they're going. Michael L. says the problem is the unvaccinated is enabling transmission of the disease. We eradicated smallpox through mass vaccination. The same needs to be done for COVID. Yeah, but I still think people, should have that choice, Mike. But, I know some people disagree with me, but I get it. Kevin Douglas, can smoke cannabis on Guam. That's interesting. I don't smoke myself, but I know in my home state of Massachusetts you can. Kevin Douglas, he says the same thing. You can smoke weed in Guam. Okay. Liam Blair, I'm vaccinated, and as you know, Steve, I didn't really want to, but the vaccinations are online here in the Philippines, so they can check your status. You can't do any dodgy stuff here now. They can check you. Yeah. Oh, I know about that. Trust me. The Philippines is like on point with getting whatever the World Health Organization wants done. They do it, it seems like. Not that I'm against that, I'm just saying that's what they're on point with that, Michael L., Philippines is requiring negative PCR tests before travel. Yeah, I heard that too. And they only gave like 2 hours notice, so anybody that was getting ready to fly, I don't even know if they had a forgiveness factor or whatever. I didn't hear anything back about that. I know they were talking about it. Apex 512 says crazy. Yes, it is. Dickie Spaz says, Michael, the full vaxxed are spreading it as well. Yes, they are. You're right, because they spread it on themselves. If they come in contact with somebody, they can spread it too. You are correct. Kevin Douglas says, eat it. Vince Petrie says, hi, Steve. Been a while since I caught your live chat. Good to see you on here, Vince. Michael Lagasse, I miss eating good mangoes. You want to know something? In my area here, we have so many mangoes. And when I grew up, we had apple trees all around my house. It was an old apple orchard where my dad's house was built. And all the fields around my dad's house in Massachusetts had apple orchards there prior. And I'll tell you something. I got sick of apples after that. And over here in the Philippines, there's mango trees all around my house. Mangoes falling on the ground. You can pick them off the trees during mango season, and they're just all over the place. And you know something? Even I get sick of mangoes sometimes over here, believe it or not. Although, when mango season goes away, then you start having that hankering for a mango or something. And they're still fairly cheap here because mangoes grow year-round over here, I guess. But I mean, one of the things I like the best over here is a mango tango. It's a drink that they have like a franchise over here. It's called Mango Tango, and they make like a really good mango drink. And you got to have one to taste it. It tastes like mango, but it has like caramel. Let's see, Liam Blair, I read today it's merged in part of the common cold, so it's a double whammy now. That's interesting to see how that's going to play out. But yeah, I don't know what to say about this COVID thing. I hope that the world wakes up to this and smartens up. I mean, if we got 300,000 people marching in Melbourne, that's a good start. It's a really good start. So I think, and I think they're pretty much vaccinated in Australia too. I don't know what their percentage is, but I mean, they told us when everyone was vaccinated at 80% or 70% or something like that they were going to stop doing this stuff and we didn't have to worry anymore. But yet they're keeping it going in these countries. So it seems like more of a form of like manipulation or something. I don't know. I just can't put my finger on what. Texas has blocked the mandatory vaccine mandate, saving millions from being fired from their jobs. Guys, if we keep getting cut off like this, for some reason my camera keeps going down because connection problems. I'm not sure what's going on. Hopefully, we don't have to end this tonight, but we'll have to start it back up or something. But DNJ Thump says, we got our boosters yesterday, but it was our choice. Yeah, I'm getting my booster next weekend because I don't want to let that lapse. After getting the first shot, I just felt like I needed to get, the booster. I went all the way to get the first shot, so why not get the booster shot? Because I got the Johnson, which I only needed one shot. So I mean, after 6 months, you need the booster. Now, if it goes beyond this shot, I don't think I'm going to get any more boosters. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what I'm going to do. So we'll just see where we go from there. Let's see. Christopher says, how is your ARK investment doing the last month? Actually, it hasn't done that good. But over the long term, it did do me pretty well. I pulled out and put almost all of it into Tesla. So I'm doing really good on Tesla. Even though Tesla took a dip, I'm up about $10,000 on Tesla alone. So I mean, I've done really, really, really good with Tesla. That's why I threw everything into Tesla now. But ARK is a good long-term investment. And now's a good time to throw some more money in, actually, in any one of those ARK investments. Vince Petrie says, Texas has blocked the mandatory vaccine mandate, saving millions from being push that. So my friend was actually part of that. They wanted to fire him, and he had to go get the shot, and he was really against it, really against that shot. So you got 48 people, 15 thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Really, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, bad weather in between Guam and the Philippines. I'll have to look that up, man. That's interesting to know. No virus in history has ever been cured. Smallpox is a disease, not a virus. Have a cold or the flu. AIDS been cured by vaccine? No, it hasn't. Neither will COVID. I agree with that. I don't think the shots are gonna stop COVID. Eric Coyle says, had 4 mango shakes in Camigan at the same place one day in 2019. Yummy, it was hot. New Zealand vaccine pass started from Friday. No pass, no gym, no movie, no cafes, etc. Supermarket, veggie shops, okay. That's interesting. So at least you can go get something to eat or whatever. So it's kind of cool. But the fact that you can't go to the gym or movie or whatever to stay healthy, I mean, that's what makes your immune system strong is exercise, vegetables, eating right, things like that. So I don't know why they're stopping people from doing that. James Curlew says, hello, we had a double vaccinated person in Denver test positive for Omicron variant. Will it ever end? Miss the mangoes. I miss mangoes too sometimes if I don't have one for a while. But it's easy to get them down here, but they're good, and they're too soft. I like it with a little firmness to it, I mean, still have that velvety flavor to it, but, like firm and feeling, like it's just starting to get soft. Sinful says, hello, Steve, been out of commission for a while, LOL. Yeah, I think we all have. I've been still going in and out of the hospital for that leg stuff that I have. And I gotta go see the doctor soon. I just had the biopsy done on my leg, and I'm waiting to find out what it is exactly, because they're gonna give me a diagnosis. It's not skin cancer or anything like that, so it's nothing serious. But I mean, still, it's just a pain. I mean, they know it's some sort of like psoriasis, but they want to give me a full diagnosis of it. Brooks Snyder says, inflation is coming in the West. Here are in real estate, food, vehicles, etc. Won't be long till it hits the pH. It's already hitting here. I actually did a video about that a little bit. Well, I talked about it a little bit, I should say. And yeah, it's hitting here. We're starting to see it in food prices here a lot. I'm actually thinking about going out and buying a bunch of frozen goods, like meat and stuff like that, because I think those are going to get hit really hard over here. Let's see. Michael L. says, I use red pepper or Worcestershire sauce to make vegetable taste good. Red pepper or Worcestershire sauce on... I don't know about that. It sounds good for a steak. Carl Stevens says, is the hot sauce great? That's it. Sinfuls went back in hospital for pancreatitis, but they resolved, need gallbladder removed, then gout, out of the hospital, and needed left retina reattached. Wow, you had a rough month, I guess. Let's see, James Curlow says, message retracted. James, I don't know what you wrote, but it says retracted. Dickie Spaz, all that stimulus money is coming home to roost. Yeah, it is, and I think that's why we got like almost like a 6 or 7% inflation rate, and I think it's higher than that in the United States. I'll bet you it's probably close to like 15% or something. It's kind of scary, but I mean, anybody that's getting Social Security is going to get that made up in there, at least part of it. You know, Sinful says November sucked. Yeah, it sounds like it, man. You know, I feel bad for you. Let's see, we got 58 people, 24 thumbs up. James Curlew says, Michael, use bacon to make veggies taste good. There you go. Bacon makes anything taste good. You know, I saw an ice cream with bacon in it. They had an ice cream with bacon in it somewhere. I don't know where I saw it. I saw it somewhere just recently in the Philippines. So, Sinful says, but they dropped 18 pounds. There we go. Let's see what else we got on here. But to get back to the mangoes, though, if you guys ever get a chance, you newbies, try out Mango Tango. That's like, it's one of those things you have to try. And when you try it, I guarantee you're going to like it. It's like the best. It's a mango shake, kind of, and it's got a lot of calories, I'll just say that, but it's really, really delicious, you know, especially with those pearls and the caramel. This is getting, it's keep cutting me out. Had a nice chat with Darren from Florida Sun. I think that's the place. Girlfriend said it's a nice area. Yeah, it is. It's an excellent area, Brooke. You're gonna love it. You know, so I think you'll love that area. For the rents, what they charge there, I think you'll enjoy it. You know, lots of great places over there. There's condos over there. They got 2 nice pools over there. Everything. Florida Sun, guys, in Dasma. If you guys are looking for a good place, that's the place to go. It's a nice place, and General Trias in general has really good places. All around General Trias is all kinds of gated communities, and it's a nice area to get in because it's cheaper here than a lot of areas. And considering that the Metro Manila is so close by, it's a bargain. And you know, you're close enough to get to the beach and to do other things, yet you're close enough to get up to Metro Manila, and you're near a lot of good shopping centers, and you're near a lot of good hospitals. Actually, that's one of the videos I'm putting up pretty soon. I think it's a great place for people to retire, is right around here, because it's a good jumping off point too. If you want to travel to other islands, you're close to Manila. So let's see, Jim in Florida, have you noticed price increases on fruits and vegetables there? Yes. Oranges here have been going up, and apples. I noticed I'm getting less oranges for 100 pesos than before. It started with 4, went down to 3, and pretty soon it'll probably be 2. James Curlew says, Steve, sounds like the SRV is a better option than the 13A visa, more benefits. Yes, it is. Not just that, if you get the 13A visa and your girlfriend leaves you, she can have you booted out of the country, and with the SRV, no matter what, you can stay. It's not SSRV, it's SRRV. Okay, but yes, it's got a ton of benefits on there. They'll help you with housing for the elderly or whatever. If you need, you need assisted living, nursing care, things like that, they'll help you. They send somebody with you and assist you. It's really, really good. And they send somebody out to get your license. That was the thing I did today. The video vlog, one of the vlogs I did today. Detroit teacher in the Philippines. Any plans for a walking tour video of Tracy soon? Actually, I've done tons of videos around Tracy before already. If you go way back, you'll see a lot of those places. But I'll try to get out there and do that. I can do that. We can do a great walking tour. What I'll do is maybe I'll do like a 2 or 3 part series, because otherwise people get bored with a whole hour of walking, But yeah, I can do that. We'll do something where I walk through downtown or whatever. Dickie Spaz says, watch a documentary yesterday on inflation in Venezuela. What a disaster. I can imagine. But Detroit teacher, take a look at my older videos, because there's a lot of Tracy videos in there. There's a lot. I know I got 800 videos and stuff like that, but I mean, check that out if you get a chance. Let's see. Sinful says, wife in the air right now, flying back to the Philippines. She came back to care for me. That was good. That's good, Sinfuls. Crypto Trucker, the jab is designed to actually weaken your immune system. The people I know that had the jab are coming with all kinds of skin issues and worse. I got skin issues. This is cutting out a lot. I'm not sure what's going on tonight with this. We're actually using not Converge tonight. We're using PLDT, and I'm not sure why this keeps cutting out. Let's see. Sinful says if you fly through Canada from the U.S., you need a ETA, electronic travel authorization, before you get to Canada. That's interesting. Let's see. Brooks Snyder says, I'm thinking it'll be the same waiting for tourists. The Philippines is known for these types of glitches on the internet, and I'm kind of regretting switching from Converge to PLDT. And actually have both in here in case this happens. But if I switch over now, I'll lose all you guys. So I don't want to lose you guys. So I'm going to stick on this. If it gets really bad, then I'll switch over. Okay. Our jabs, Big KW says, are jabs required in the Philippines yet? Well, in Cebu, if you don't get them, you can't go into public buildings. I believe you can go food shopping. That's about it. But no movies, no gyms, all that stuff. Can't do it. You know. Let's see. They say, Chris G says, they say you lose your immune system a little every day once you get the biowep. Let's see. Detroit teacher in the Philippines, sure will. Thanks. I enjoy the interaction with the business owners and locals. Yes. Detroit teacher, I actually have a guy, I've been wanting to interview him, but he's actually been working on it. It's an AC guy, okay, that we usually use. And it might be worth it to, interact with some of them. But yeah, I can do that. I can do that for sure, you know. We'll try to do something this week. I'll get something up this week. We'll do little short spurts of it or something, okay? And what I'll do is I'll try to post them on the same day so you can watch them all if you want to do a whole run of them. Clark Henderson says, my typical $200 bi-weekly groceries cost me $207 in the U.S. Interesting. That's crazy. So it's going up real fast. Well, it's not much of a difference, but still. Let's see. DNJ Fomp says, we have been looking, and there are a lot of good investment properties there in Tracy. Yes. Tracy, General Trias, Das Marinas, Tanza. Tanza I don't like as much. Tanza is just, I don't know what it is about Tanza. It's just not, it doesn't look nice. Tracy has a lot of places and things to do. Has a good mall. Dasma has a good mall. A lot of things to do. General Trias has a lot of, gated communities there. Has a couple of smaller malls that are decent and stuff. But it's good. Crypto Trucker says, President of El Salvador says no jab, no test to enter the country. There we go. That's interesting. Big KW, please push freedom and liberty first. There we go. B. and Blair says, what's the latest with China, Steve? Do we know what their miles are going to be? How they going to Taiwan and COVID? Thoughts? My thoughts on China are this: if something's up, and when it starts, it's going to be big. And I'm not sure we're gonna like what we see, because I don't think China's going to back down, and I'm not sure what the president of the U.S. is going to do, or NATO. And to be honest with you, I'm a little bit worried about it, because we have bases here now that we're sharing with the U.S., which I agree with, by the way. But I'm really worried about that China might try to do a first strike. First, they might try to go into Taiwan. This keeps cutting out. This is awful. Let's see. Michael L. says, skin issues are endemic in tropical regions. The data does not list skin issues or immune issues with the vaccine. Yeah, I didn't think it did. I didn't read anything about that either. Maximus says, hi, Steve. How you doing, Maximus? Good to see you on here, man. Justin in Arkansas, I thought the glitch and buffering were on my end. I was just up on the roof adding 10 more feet to cell repeater pole to get a better signal. No, it's either it's a glitch with just because we got 300 Mbps right now. It's really fast, but I've never seen it cut out like this the whole night and whole day today that we've had it. All of a sudden it started cutting out, which is unusual. Let's see. Dickie Spaz says, both China and Russia and our weak leader in the States will do absolutely nothing. Unfortunately, I don't think that that's totally true. I mean, I agree with the weak leader part, but I'm not sure about what China and Russia are going to do. We'll see. Lee and Blair, do you think COVID and China and the world domination are linked at all? Mm, it could be. It could be. I'm not sure what China has in store for us, but I think Z has a big head. You know, I'll just say that, okay? And that'll kind of give you your answer. RLV is on here. He says, use Converge. It is more reliable now. It seems that way. You might be right. We actually have both. We're going to keep both. I think next week we're going to use the Converge. We'll switch back to that because we do have the both. We have the both in case one cuts out, but I can't switch while I'm running you guys on here to do it without losing all you guys. So that's why. Let's see, we've got 32 minutes in. We got 56 people. Less than usual for tonight. I'm not sure. It must be the holidays. Maybe everybody's out shopping or whatever. Let's see, Michael L. says we should give Taiwan better weapons, including atomics, to deter China. I think we should give them submarines. Myself, I don't know if you're talking about atomic weapons or you're talking about atomic submarine, like nuclear submarines. Because some people call nuclear submarines atomics too, but they're. But anyway, I would say just give them the submarines. I think the United States should start doing some sort of diesel boats for shore patrol and stuff like that. I think diesel boats are really good submarines too, and they're cheap. Because we could build about 4 to 6 of those for the price of one regular nuclear submarine. We could build small ones too that could do a lot of damage. You know, Maximus says Russia gonna invade Ukraine and China going to invade Taiwan. It might be two-pronged attack by the two biggest communist countries to start World War III. It's possible. And if they do it at the same time, I think they'll get away with it. You know, I think they might get away with it, unfortunately. So Smoky Mountain Model is on board. He says, good evening, Steve. How you doing, Smoky? Jeannie Torres, hello, everyone. We're getting more people on here. This is good. AZ, do you use Signal, PLD, or other? I use Converge and PLDT, and right now I'm on Converge. And I like the speed. I do not like the cutouts that it keeps cutting out. And I think I'm going to switch. That's one thing that Converge doesn't have much. It does once in a while, but not to this amount. You know. And Michael L. says we should never have forced Ukraine to give up its atomics in 1994. Yeah, I guess yes, I can agree with that because Russia's so close. Brooke Snyder says, can you get your recommended vaccinations upon arrival? Not COVID or in the U.S. Not sure I trust them over here. You know what? I go to the VA here. I think you're talking not COVID. I see you're talking about. Yeah, I can get them at the VA here, Brooke. I think you can get the other shots if you ask for them at most of the places around here. You can get vaccines here. Yes. If you go to the regular hospital here, like De La Salle, and you ask to be vaccinated for, let's say, TB or Hep B or something like that, you can get them here. No problem. No issues. I don't know what they cost, but I'm sure they're not that costly here. Ed Douglas says, hi, Steve. Lee and Blair, hit that thumbs up button, guys. Christopher Leroy, you was a little early. You started around 9 a.m. Yeah, I started about 15 minutes early. So let's see. And we usually start at 10 p.m. here. So we started about 10 till, I think it was. So we started 10 minutes early. Michael L. says, both atomic-propelled submarines with atomic missiles. Yeah, you're right. I was a submariner, so I know. I was on the USS James K. Polk and the Woodrow Wilson. Let's see, RLV, I have both Converge and PLDT. That's what we have, both. We have one as a backup. But we have PLD today. We had it before, but it was slower, so I never used it. And we upgraded it to the 300 Mbps. And let me tell you something, it's a lot faster, but I don't like the cutouts. That's not good for a vlogger. Ed Douglas says, diesel boats are a good fit and choice. They're a very quiet boat. Yes, they are. Even though I was on a nuclear sub, I love those diesel boats, man. I love walking through those things. You know, the old diesel boats that they have at like military museums and stuff like that. I used to love going on. I've been on the Nautilus, I've been on the Croaker, and several other ones. And let me tell you something. They are, you know, when I met some of the old World War II guys that were on those subs and talked to them and stuff like that, they used to tell me that they were so quiet. I mean, you barely hear anything. And even on a nuclear submarine, they're very quiet. But there's nothing like those diesel boats, man. When you shut everything off on there and you just have the motor running, they're super quiet, you know. Dickie Spaz says, imagine if you will, a virus so dangerous that those who are not jabbed are supposedly a danger to the vax. Endless boosters. You're right. It's scary. See, Kevin Douglas says, if Iraq attacked Turkey from the rear, would Greece help? I don't know. Clark Henderson, there is chatter of Jinping being overthrown by high-ranking Chinese officers because of the slumping economy and his ideals heading towards conflict. I heard that. This is not good the way this is cutting out. Hold on a second, guys. Let's see. This can be confirmed with some ping and tracer route tests in various U.S. sites. Google. I actually I actually tested it today. It's fast, but I didn't check anything else on there. I'm going to have to look at that again. Sinful says, Clark Henderson, I have heard the same. RLV says, more glitches now with PLDT and Globe than Converge. It seems that way, and it's not good, especially for this live stream, and this is getting kind of nasty. Steve Ford says, Steve, I just got a quote to move half a container from France to Philippines, 14,000 euro, said due to COVID they are keeping prices high. Wow. That's expensive, man. That's a lot of money for a half a container. Tom Pierce says, good morning. Remember to not let temptation take your money you have saved for your PI retirement fund. Did you have any idea what currency to change US dollars, CNH? That's a good question, you know, especially now in today's world. You know, Tom, I wouldn't even, you know, like look at the cryptocurrency. Everybody thought that was going to save them during a big dip, and it has a big dip with the stock market. So I mean, if you throw your money, Damn Car says America is too divided to agree in mass vaccine. What do you think will happen if we start to prepare for a war? I think today's kids, I think they wouldn't even bother going in. I mean, I know we have some people that are really patriotic out in the Midwest that would welcome, you know, like a draft. They would jump on it. There's a lot of people out there that would do stuff like this. There's still some people out there that have that patriotism in them. But you know, we have nothing. We don't even, these kids today can't stand up against the greatest generation. And you know what? Any war would be a disaster. You know, regardless of whether we have patriotic people fighting or non-patriotic people joining the military or getting drafted or whatever. You get a bunch of people that get drafted. Can you imagine what those people would be like? Seriously, take a look at what we have out there in today's world. And can you imagine them fighting in the military? That's the question, you know. Michael L. Z sees Mao as his role model. Remember that Mao invaded Tibet. Yes, you're right. Brooke Snyder, can't we just join the new live chat stream if you switch providers? Glitches are annoying. You know what? If it keeps doing this, I'm going to let it get one more time, and then if it hits again, we'll switch, but it'll be hard to switch, okay, because I have to redo the whole thing and take 5 minutes, but we could do it if we have to. We're already up to 41 minutes, so it might not be worth it. We'll see how it goes. Smoky Connection, Steve, we'll stick around for the reboot. Well, you know what then? If you guys are willing to stick around, if it goes down one more time really, really bad, where I have to reconnect, then what I'll do is just look for me and I'll redo it, okay? We'll just do it that way, all right? If you guys are willing to wait, because it's, you know, this is kind of a pain in the butt. But anyway, Sinful says, Smoky Mountain Modeler agreed. There we go. Variable, best hospitals and Medicare options video would be great. I actually did one of those. I did one on the hospitals and also health insurance. I did a lot of those way back. If you look at those, I did one on Pacific Cross, and I also did one on Pacific Prime, which gives you 10 quotes. So both of those are really good. I mean, Pacific Cross is a health insurance company. Pacific Prime is a brokerage firm for expat insurance. You write that name down, Pacific Prime, and check out their quotes. They'll give you 10 quotes. They're really, really good. JH, now's the time to buy Bitcoin. Let's see, Smoky Mountain Model, good morning, Sinfuls. He says, Sinfuls says, Smoky Mountain Model, good morning also. Lance, LOL. Clark Henderson, most of today's kids would flee to Canada. Yeah, they probably would. It's sad, but that's the way today's generation is. We have the greatest generation, we have the worst generation, I guess you can call it. Tom Pierce says, great book to read, The Greatest Generation. I think I saw that before. You know, I was thinking about my godfather today. He's 98 years old, I think, this week. And he was in Guam. And he fought in that. And he was over there for a long, long time. And he says even after the war was over, there were still Japanese on the island in small areas where they were still fighting. They were mostly lone soldiers that got lost or separated or whatever, but they were still fighting for like maybe a month or two after. And one guy they found years and years later in the 1970s, and you can look up that story. It's a true story. I think they found him in the 70s, living in Guam in a cave that he dug out of the ground. It was kind of a cool story. See, Dickie Spaz says, damn cars, you're right. In my opinion, a good portion of the country would welcome communism with open arms. That's the sad part. You know, Russia could probably take over and we'd be putting flowers, you know, in their hats and stuff like that, you know, welcoming them in at this point, you know, the way the new generation is. Brooks Snyder says, bought Bitcoin and Ether last night. Yeah, I'm in that Shiba Inu, and I'm not too overly impressed with that. I'll tell you, Brooke. I mean, some people say it might reach a penny or 2 cents or 5 cents or something like that. I don't think it ever will. Maximus says they would want a timeout card if drafted. Timeout during a firefight is a good idea. Ha ha ha. Yeah, there we go. That sounds like this generation too. See, Tom Pear, has anyone heard from John Wales? Yeah, I have not. You know, it's funny you mentioned that, but I actually had a couple people that he recommended to me to talk to me or something like that, and they sent me emails. So he's alive and well. I just haven't heard from him. Let's see, Dickie Spaz says, Maximus, that's only funny because it's true. Yeah, it's true. Let's see, DNJ Thump says, thumbs up. So we got 63 people, 52 thumbs up. See, Smoky Mountain Modeler says, I talked to him on another live stream last night. Let's see, Robert Quiroz says, hello, can you please give me an update concerning travel to the Philippines? If I'm coming from America, I'd like to know what is the latest. I was hoping to be there for Christmas. Well, right now, no tourists allowed, man. You know, unfortunately, and I did a video a couple days before that saying any opening would be a mess. And they opened they said they were going to open on December 1st, and they shut down all within less than 24 hours, I think it was. It was really, really quick. I bet you it was probably 12 hours. But they opened and they closed. And that was the end of that grand opening that the Philippines was talking about for a while. And we were hearing rumors about that, and we were all hoping that it was going to open before Christmas. And that's about as close as we came. Unfortunately, I don't think that until the end of this month or next month, it's going to take them probably a month or two to figure out that this new variant is nothing. And then they'll open up. So we'll see. We'll have to wait for the WHO, I guess, to tell them. But WHO is probably not going to say that, oh, it's a nothing. They'd probably even tell you to close down for a cold nowadays, the way they're going. But Michael Onstead says, or look up my Facebook group, Health Insurance in the Philippines. Oh yeah, Michael here is one of the insurance experts out there, okay? And you can talk to him. He's also pretty good at that. I haven't checked out his stuff, but yeah, him and Arnelli that I recommend. But I don't know much about Michael, but Michael's on here right now. I'm sure you could check it out and you can make a decision. But welcome to the channel, Michael. Michael, if you ever want to give me a call, we can talk. Email me at steven5975 @yahoo.com, okay? And ask me for my Philippine phone number, and we can always chat. And if you want me to do a vlog on here, and you can give me prices and stuff like that, or you can talk to me about what you do, I might do a vlog on it. I'll consider it. I ain't gonna promise, but I'll consider it, okay? I've helped out a lot of other people on here, and if I feel it's a good deal, and you'll help out the expats, then I'm all on board, you know. So I like people to take care of the subscribers on here. Francisco Fletes says, I'm a big fan of the draft. People would care more about their country if they had skin in the game. Yeah, I agree. I'm tired of all these people wanting entitlements but are not willing to fight for their country. That's the problem. Right there is the problem. It's kind of interesting. Maximus, Tom Pierre, why don't you go to Calvin's channel during a stream and John Wales is usually there? He's not always there. He's there sometimes, I heard. I don't watch Sunshine Shoulders or any of the other channels that much. I haven't watched, I think I watched maybe 2 of Sunshine Shoulders things, and that was it, you know. Dickie Spaz says 100% spot on, Francisco. Sinful says I've gotten 27 different coins all red today. Let's see. Philip Rogers. I talked to John Wales on Cliff and Rue today. Sinful says my wife was initially on a 3-day quarantine, but changed to 5 days now. Had to hotel. I guess he had to add hotel nights. Let's see. Darren Cooper is on board. Yo, Steve, how's it going, bro? Darren and I have been hanging around a lot lately. Darren's the new expat here, and he's the one that we did the video on the home, the yellow house, and the addition. We're gonna be doing some more videos over there. Probably we're gonna show the finished product, but we'll probably do one more video over there before he's finished. But and then we also Darren I went up to get his license the other day. And he got it in an hour because he went through the PRA. And the PRA have a special person that goes with you, and they get it done in an hour to an hour and 10 minutes. It's really, really fast. When I did it, it took me all day. It took me all of about 8 hours. So it was really, really good seeing somebody go there and seeing the Philippine Retirement Authority help somebody and seeing how it works and how much they push through for the retirement community that lives over here. That's a huge plus, guys, you know. But let me see here. Let me go back a little bit. Let's see. Here we go. I just lost it. The whole thing just went pop. Sinful says extend hotel nights as she began travel. Okay. Michael says they were not even technically open. They announced, yeah, you're right. Yeah. They were going to open on December 1st. You're correct. I stand corrected. And then closed down before they even opened. Yeah. It was like 12 hours. There were like 12 hours when they announced it. From the time they announced it, it was like really quick. I don't know how many hours it was. It seemed like 12 hours. I could be wrong. Smoky Mountain Model says, I'm hoping they open the country by August or September. I think it'll be way before that, but we'll see. Francisco Fletes says, this variant looks much less virulent than Delta. Looks much less virulent than a common cold, you know, to be honest with you, but much more transmissible. Yeah, the cold is very, you know, everybody gets a cold in the house usually. So that's good. It may probably will outcompete Delta, but cause very mild disease. Fingers crossed. I think it's just going to be a nothing burger, man. I don't think it's gonna be anything big, and they'll realize that maybe who will smarten up and they'll just open the borders, and the Philippines will smarten up and see that it's just nothing. Sinful says there is the nail for PLD Livestream. LOL. There is the what? I don't know. Sinfuls at Francisco Fletes. Yes, could be blessing. Smoky Mountain Model says, stay tuned, folks. Tom Pear, Maximus, do not really care for Calvin's show. Yeah, I'm not, you know, I watched his show like once or twice, and I mean, some people like it, some people don't. I mean, I usually don't watch other channels just because I think it makes me want to compete with that channel or whatever, or try to put out the same type of stuff that they put out. And I rather just go off my own ideas and just come up with my own free ideas rather than look at other people and what they're putting out. And by not watching those channels, I think it makes me put out better content. I know I don't have like a huge channel, but I think we put out pretty decent content here. Sinful says, in the coffin. Let's see, we get some more questions on here. I'll talk on chat on here. Let me get a drink, guys. Hold on a second. Let's see. Get some more things on here. So we have 59 people, 60 thumbs up, guys. So who else we got on here that's new tonight? But here we go. Michael L. says, Calvin has shades of the Duma crowd. Yeah, he's got a pretty good following down there. I mean, he does have a good following. I remember when there was like a spike all of a sudden in subscriptions and people watching and everything. It was about last September, I think it was, and Calvin got a spike and I got a spike all of a sudden. And I think it was YouTube somehow pushing our channel by really pushing us up to the top more. And we both really moved up the ladder quite a lot. And he moved up like a lot more than I did. And it was interesting watching that because there was a few people. There was me, him, and I think there was one other person that YouTube picked out and says, hey, let's see what happens. But my channel is different because we don't put out like the super chat and ask for the Patreon and stuff like that. And I think YouTube preferred that over, and they might have pushed him more than me because I don't do the super chats. I don't want, I'm happy with the money I make, and we don't want to ask for money. So I mean, that's one reason why I think his channel grew more, but I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not stating that as a fact, and it could be because he's better. I don't know, Sinfuls, so not sure if you saw, but quarantine extended as my wife was leaving. Had to extend her hotel stay from 3 to 5 nights. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that they extended the hotels and stuff like that. Francisco Fleta says, Steve, once your friend finishes the work on his 3-bedroom house, can I get the number of his contractor? I'm impressed by the work and the price. He's actually on here right now, Darren Cooper, Francisco. He's on here right now. Maybe he'll be willing to put that phone number up if you want to call it. I'm not sure. Or you can contact me, and I can ask him. So if you contact me at Steven5975 @yahoo.com, and Steven is with a V. So Steven5975 @yahoo.com. Let's see. Carl Stevens says, you put out good information. I like to get back to our home there in Lipa. Yeah, hopefully everybody can get back, man. But to get back to you, Francisco, if you want that, I can give you that information. Just get in touch with me, okay? I think you might have my number already. I'm not sure. I talk to so many people, it's hard for me to remember sometimes. JH, you could give the super chats to charity. I could, but it's just kind of a pain in the butt for the tax ramifications of it, so I'd rather just leave it off there. And I don't like to do that because it kind of breaks up the show because you have to keep saying thank you, and all that stuff for the super chats. But I hear what you're saying. We already donate a lot of the money that we get just from the advertisements already, believe it or not. We donate that to a lot of people on the streets and stuff like that. When we go out doing videos, like we're walking around Manila or something like that, a lot of money goes out to the people up there. So, Open Your Eyes says, you and Calvin are both good. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Francisco, I'm sure Calvin does too. I really don't know Calvin that much. I know John very well because we've talked quite a few times. I don't know Calvin. Calvin has never spoken with me or anything, so I really don't know that enough about him. Francisco Fleta says, I'll text you, Steve. Okay, that's fine. Francisco, I don't have that phone number now, but text me during the weekend or next week to remind me to get that number for you. And I'll ask Darren, and I'm sure he'll be more than likely, willing to give it to me or whatever to pass on. Tom Pierre, while you reboot, I'm going to put on my boots and go ride. Actually, right now, let's see. We haven't had a break, any cutouts or anything, Tom, on here from PLDT. So that's kind of good. I don't know, it might be on your end if you are rebooting or whatever. Dickie Spaz says, you have a good niche going, Steve. Sometimes the super chats and donations are nothing but trouble and bring out the trolls. That's another reason, guys, is I watched all these people, even Calvin for that matter. Some people have told me that he's had problems with trolls and a lot of other people. And I've watched other channels. I've watched a few channels that cover some of the vlogs and they talk about them. And let me tell you something. They chew up people and spit them out that have super chats and Patreon and all that. And I think when I did this channel, one of the things I wanted to do was to do it so that nobody had to ever give me a nickel. And I just wanted to help people. Okay, I did this on Facebook. I got kicked off Facebook because they said I was spamming people because I was sending veterans videos, and I guess that Facebook didn't like me helping out veterans, so they took me off. And it kind of ticked me off a lot about, after that I was off for a year. And they actually forced me to go over to YouTube. So when I switched to YouTube, they actually monetized me, which was really funny. And it actually helped me out, and it also helped other people out because a lot of my money, goes out to helping other people and stuff like that. We help a lot of the expats. We help a lot of people out there. We help churches. We've helped all different kinds of causes out there at one time or another. And Michael says, that is why we like you, Steve. You do not push the consulting fees. No. And there's another thing. Let's see. He says, YouTube membership or super chats. You also provide real info instead of the near sexpat drive on some of these other channels. Yeah, that's one of the things I want to stay away from because I want to attract a different type of clientele on this channel, like a different, I won't say clientele, that sounds like you're a client or something, but kind of the people that I work with are kind of like my clients, but I work with them for free to help them, and I never ask for a nickel from people, never ask for a nickel. Anybody that knows me knows I never ask for a nickel, but I mean, I enjoy helping people and the expats and stuff like that. But the other thing is, anybody that has worked with me or called me or anything knows that I never ask for any money on the phone, and I'll talk to you for 3 hours on the phone. If I tell people you can call me between 6 and 9 any night or 6 and 10 any night, and if you want to call me an hour earlier than that, that's okay. I usually answer the phone, and I'll talk with you as long as you need for free. That's the good part about it, Let's see, we're up to about 72 people, 63 thumbs up. So if any of you guys ever need to contact me on the phone, it's Steven5975@yahoo.com, and you can contact me, and I'll help you with whatever you need, whatever questions you have. Let's see. JH says, that's fair enough. RLV says, when the PH opens and you're landing in Manila, be ready for the crawling traffic, main, secondary, and feeder roads. You're right. It's true. Philip Rogers says, Steve, you're doing it right. Yeah, I think that was a good decision. I really do. I think if other channels stayed away from the Patreon, some channels, I can see some of these channels like with the van lifers that keep these guys going out on the road and stuff like that. I can see giving in the Patreon. I can see doing that sometimes, or doing the super chats so they can earn a little bit of money. But for me, I really don't need that. So I mean, that was one of the reasons why I did it. And plus, I didn't want the trolls on my back. I don't need that. Smoky Mountain Model says, that's why I'm landing in Cebu, ROVL, and other reasons. Gurkha9 says, your channel is pretty clear of trolls. Not accepting super chats, etc. may have something to do with it. I think it has a lot to do with it. Because nobody can really attack a channel if they're accepting all that money. I mean, I'm just living off the ads. And I do pretty good. I actually, I tell people, if you want to help me, watch my ads. And let me tell you something. My ad revenue is higher than the average person. For a small channel, I do pretty well. We do really, really well on this channel. It's not exceptional, but I mean, we do pretty decent. And it varies from anywhere. And I'll tell you right now, it varies from anywhere from like $750 all the way up to $1,400 a month. That's pretty decent, So I mean, I'm not afraid to tell people what I make and stuff like that. And you can go on. There's a thing out there. I forget the name of it. Social Blade, I think it's called Social Blade, and it tells you how much people make. Okay, so Detroit Teacher says Michael L. perfectly stated, Steve. I agree with no super chats. I feel the same way. It's a waste of time, and too much energy goes into answering and thanking people for those. You know, and if you just watch the ads, it helps. You know, Sinful says, hell, you just BS for free. Ha ha ha. It's not for free. I get ad revenue, so I'm happy with that, Sinfuls. I do pretty good. Sinfuls on the phone just to say hi. I mean, I actually enjoy talking to the people on the phone because I make a lot of friends that way. And if you knew the amount of friends that I talk to, both through my Facebook, and if anybody wants my Facebook, you can contact me on steven5975@yahoo.com, and I'll send you the link to my Facebook. And you can follow me on Facebook too. You see a lot more on there than I share on here, okay? And you get to know a little bit more about me on there too. And also I share some pretty cool stuff on there. We have a lot of fun on there sometimes. And I answer your questions on there too. Sometimes I can't answer you like during the day. Sometimes it might take me, because during the day, that's my time, you know, but I do answer sometimes during the day, the phone and stuff like that. If I'm not busy or whatever, I'll take the time out and answer phone calls. Francisco Fleta says, you help people all throughout the move to Philippine spectrum, from people coming over here to expats already living here. I appreciate it. Yes, we do. We do. You know, we've helped a lot of people in here. Sometimes it might be with just setting them up with something. Sometimes it's helping them soup to nuts. We have a guy coming in here on the 16th that we've helped, and we helped him buy furniture. We helped him rent a place. We helped him have the furniture built, buying all those things that he needs for when he moves in there. And he's coming here on the SRV visa. He has a fully functional apartment. You guys have seen it. I've showed it on there. That apartment for $80, and it has AC. We had the AC installed for him. Everything was done. Now, that's unusual that we do that much, but we did for this guy here because, number one, he's a veteran, and we help people like that. But also, if you're not a veteran, we help people too. So, JM says, what's the yellow card? It's a WHO card. It's a World Health Organization vaccine card, okay? And you list all your vaccines on there from soup to nuts. Whether it's a Hep B or TB or whatever, that's what it is. Now there's another card called, you get it through the Bureau of Quarantine over here to basically verify that your vaccine card is real. Okay, now that's different, but you're talking about the WHO card, JM, I believe. You can get those through, you can get them online fairly cheap. Okay, Amazon is one of the places. You might even be able to get them on eBay or something like that. Usually they sell them in batches of like 25 cards, but most doctors have them too. If you ask your doctor if they have a WHO vaccine card, they'll give you one. You know, I would say about 80% of the doctors have them. Okay, Tom says, thanks for your help, Steve. No problem, Tom. Let's see, Philip Rogers, Steve, does Yellow Cab deliver to your house there? I didn't know if they did that outside Manila. I don't think Yellow Cab will deliver this far over here. Yellow Cab's really far away. They're way over in Dasma. We don't have a closer Yellow Cab than that I know of, that I can think of right offhand. See, JM, how much do you charge per hour for a private consultation? Free. Absolutely zero. JM, I just tell people, if you want to call me, email me first, and I'll give you my number. Yeah, I take it you're in the U.S., correct? You can ask me for my Philippine number, or you can ask me for my U.S. number. And at steven5975@yahoo.com. And I will, I usually answer emails about every 24 to 48 hours. I go on there. And today I took a break from email, so I didn't answer all my emails today. So probably tomorrow I'll be answering emails. But I do not charge. So if you want to call me, I just tell people, if you can get me between like 5 and 10 at night, I'll answer your questions. Okay, so I answer the phone during that time. If I don't answer, I'm on the line with somebody else. So it's not like I'm ignoring you or anything else. I set those hours aside for actual phone calls. And we usually get phone calls pretty heavily during those hours, Not all the time. I mean, some nights it's slower than others, but Usually about half that time is phone calls. So you got like a 50-50 chance of getting through at any given time. Okay, Jam? Red Ranger, I received my WHO yellow card. Didn't think it's needed. And in my opinion, the white CDC card we get in the USA for COVID vaccine is far superior for entry into the Philippines. Yes, I agree with that. It's the most important thing that you can have. That yellow WHO card doesn't mean crap when you're coming in here, but it does help to have both cards, because for some reason, some of the guys that work in the airport are asking for the yellow cards, and I'm not sure why, but I've heard it from multiple expats that have come in recently that they were asked for a yellow card. And I'm not sure why they're getting asked that, but they are getting asked that. Okay, so that's, and then they get asked for the vaccination card afterwards. So it's kind of strange that they do that, but one guy said he didn't have his yellow card, and then they asked him why he didn't have his yellow card, and he says, because I never heard of it. And then they just asked for his vaccination card, and then they said, oh, okay, so you have the vaccination. Okay, you're all set. So I'm not sure what they're doing. You know, that's just kind of strange that they did that. I found that really kind of funky. And I heard that somebody that was traveling up in India too. That was another country that was asking for yellow cards. So kind of strange, but it is happening out there. Let's see, we got 76 people, 71 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Let's see, JM says, when I got my Johnson & Johnson, that's actually the one I got, vaccine in February, I only received the white card at the VA. That's all I got. There's nothing else they gave me. So that's quickly, as I think usually you have to live with rented house and show bills for 2 months. Let's see. Okay, is the PRA usefully asked, not it's, okay. For getting a bank account quickly. Yes, when you go to open up your security account, you can send extra money and you can actually have them open up an account, okay? But you have to talk to Mary Rose about that. She can assist you with that, okay? Let's see, it says, as I think usually you have to live with rented house and show bills for 2 months. Maybe. No, that's not totally true. That's not true at all. I didn't have to show a rented house or bills or anything like that to open my account. Not once. If you go on the SRRV route, that's not true. You can open up an account as soon as you have your PRA card. You can open it up before that if the bank is willing. Some of these banks are kind of funky, and BDO happens to be one of them. But the bank in Tracy, if you work with them, you can do it. It is possible. Okay, but yeah, you can. If you're coming in after all this COVID stuff, when they do the tourist thing, and the PRA gets back to normal, just tell Mary Rose you want to add money to open up another account, and she'll tell you exactly how much you have to send. Okay, and they'll help you do that. So you can open up like your security BDO account and then another BDO account. And Tom says, hi Steve, have you heard of offloading at the airports in the Philippines or Filipinas? No, I have not. I have not heard that. I don't hear much from the airports at all. No, not much news other than what I heard about those cards. Francisco Fletes says, I got the J&J vaccine at the VA here in Manila in July. I'm getting Pfizer booster. Yeah, I heard that they're going to give me like the Pfizer booster too. Actually, next weekend, Francisco. So I'll be up in Manila next weekend. So you're going, when are you going? Tomorrow, probably? I think they're open today and tomorrow, right? I'm going next weekend. So, Sinful says, my wife and I just received our Moderna booster while she was here. That's cool. Let's see, JM, how can I get the yellow card now if already had my vaccine a long time ago? JM, here's the way the yellow card works, and this might help a lot of you other guys, because we talked about this. If any of you guys are new guys on here or anything, and even some of the older guys that are on here that live in the Philippines already, that WHO card is like a vaccine card thing that you carry around so you can keep track of all your vaccines and stuff like that. And if any country asks for it, you show them the WHO card, and it shows all your vaccines on there. And they can tell you, like if some country is saying you need a Hep B vaccine or something to get in, or they're having an outbreak or something, they want to check to see if you had your TB done, your TB vaccine or whatever. So that's what that thing is for. But it's also for the COVID shots. They put that on there. And a pharmacist or a doctor can fill it out. Either or. So there's no issue to that, okay? But it's a WHO vaccine card. And some of the doctors will give them to you, some won't. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them, I believe, on eBay too. But you look at, or you can order them through some places online. You just type in WHO vaccine card sales or something like that. I would just go to Amazon. JM says, how can I get the yellow card now if I already have yeah, that's the one I just answered. But yeah, you can get it. You can just add it on, have your pharmacist add it on, because it does say pharmacist on there can do it. Okay, Francisco Fletes says, they are doing Pfizer boosters for all veterans here in Manila. Yes, they are. Mark O'Hare, good morning, Steve. What is the coffee situation in the Philippines? Can I get good quality coffee in the grocery store? There is actually a lot of places you can get coffee here. Okay, if you like coffee, you can go to Landers, you can go to S&R. There's a lot of places that have decent coffee, and there's also a lot of coffee sales places that go. They have all different types of coffee, Philippine coffees, some of them too, in the malls here. So you can get all kinds of coffee, and you can even get Dunkin' Donuts coffee if you want, if you like Dunkin' Donuts. They have that. They have Starbucks coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I do pay attention to the coffee sales here. I was actually thinking about drinking coffee rather than soda. It might be better off for me. So Francisco Fletz says December 11th. Actually, that's the day I'm going to, Francisco. So I'll probably see you there that day. I think mine's at like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock or something like that. I'm not sure. I think it's around that time. You might. Let's see. I'll be there next Saturday, December 11th, 11:15 a.m. Yeah, I'll be there. I'm not sure when mine is. I think I'm going at 1. So I might. You might still be there when I'm just getting there, because I think they make you stay there for about an hour. So if you get yours 11:15, let's see, 12:15, we might be crossing each other. I might be coming in when you're going out, but maybe we'll see each other. Smoky Mountain Modeler, Marco O'Hare, why not buy the local coffee? Filipino coffee is really tasty. Had a friend send me some beans. They actually have one coffee here in the Philippines that gets eaten by a cat, and when the feces comes out, they make it into coffee. The coffee beans themselves, because this it's like a cat that eats coffee beans. This is not a joke. It's a true story. I forget what they call the coffee. And I think it's here in the Philippines they do that. Okay, south of here. Francisco Fletes says the WHO card is what we would carry with us on deployment to show our receiving unit during in process and to prove our vaccination status. Yeah, now they're using it they've always used it for going into countries too. Michael L. says the IOs are infamous about offloading Filipinos who try and meet their partners in a third country. Both Jennifer Terry and Lint FB Group, Love is Not Tourism, has numerous data points on this. That's kind of sad that they're doing that, though. You know, it's really, Michael, it's really sad that people do that. Because a lot of people do fall in love online today. And I actually met my girlfriend online, and I just find that kind of funny that the Philippines stops people from doing it. I guess they said it's because of human trafficking, but I'm not so sure about that, but who knows? Francisco Fletes says, Outback Steakhouse after, LOL. There we go. Usually I go to Texas Roadhouse after. That's where I go, Francisco, at the Mall of Asia. Let's see. I don't know if you asked me, you put a question mark after it. I know where Outback Steakhouse is, but I usually go to Texas Roadhouse at the Conrad building. I mean, if you want to meet up there, let me just double check my phone right now while we're on here, okay? And I'll tell you exactly when my appointment is, just to make sure I'm giving you the right info. I don't want to give you the wrong info here. Okay. Yeah, it's at 1 p.m. I have the vaccine, okay? So just FYI. Let's see. Let me go back here. Let's see. Michael L. says, coffee from the Philippines province of Kalinga is great. Coffee also has 5 times the caffeine of Coca-Cola without the sugar. Wow, 5 times. That's kind of scary. John V says, "Good evening, Steve. How is private health insurance works there? Is it true you have to pay first out of your pocket when they just reimburse you? How much the average monthly premium?" Well, John, I'm going to tell you something. I have Pacific Cross, and they pay the hospitals directly if you go to their hospitals, and there's a lot of their hospitals around, and that's Pacific Cross, and it's the peso plan. Okay, and it's designed for Filipinos because they can't afford to pay up front, but some of them can afford to pay the monthly premiums. So it's lesser than the insurance that we're used to. They give you about $30,000 worth of insurance for each, up to 30. So let's say you had cancer, they give you up to $30,000 worth of coverage for that, or a heart attack or whatever. The rest is on you. Okay, now that can be good and bad, because if you have a heart attack and you spend 30,000, and then you have another heart attack and it's cost another 30,000, that's going to come out of pocket. So just FYI, that's the way it works. That's Pacific Cross. Now you can get better coverage through them and pay more, but they usually don't pay directly. Okay, that's just part of the way they work. Very few companies will pay the hospitals directly. Okay, let's see. Maximus says it's civet coffee. Yeah, that's the name of the animal, is a civet. I was actually up at this place called the Avalon Zoo, I believe it is. It's up above Quezon City. Really nice zoo, and I was really impressed with that zoo. Let me tell you, a lot of animals there. It was a good take. It was a little bit expensive. It was about 800 pesos to get in there, but let me tell you something. I really enjoyed it, and we were up there, and we had a good time. We had a really good time there. Let's see. And he says, Mark says, Krampus says, it's not a real cat, but you are correct on the process. Yeah, it eats the coffee beans and poops them out, basically, and they wash them and clean them, and they serve them to people to make coffee. And they say it's really good coffee, but I don't know if I would eat it. Smoky Mountain Model says it's called Civet Coffee, Steve, eaten by Civet Cat. Yes. Carl Steven, yes, true story, Steven, had it. Maximus says Batanga Civet Coffee is the poop coffee. Barako coffee is the local coffee that is popular. Yes. See, Detroit teacher in the Philippines, dump the soda, brother. Try elderberry tea. I'll look into that. I used to eat elderberries, but they were kind of sour. We used to grow them in our yard, actually. That and gooseberries. I don't know if you ever heard of gooseberries. Francisco Fleta says, I'm good with that. Yeah, me too. Michael L. says, Kopi Lawak, the civet cat coffee, is an Indonesian thing. It's also a Filipino thing. Red Ranger says, I have known a couple of Filipinas who was offloaded. They were younger and single and traveling alone. They're requiring them to do CFO seminar to exit, so they have the CFO stamp on their passport. That's kind of scary. Michael L., not even the CFO certificate enough sometimes to prevent offloading. Let's see. Michael Onset says, my primary carrier is Pacific Cross. Pacific Cross is excellent. Let me tell you something. I really like Pacific Cross for cost and the fact that if you get the peso plan, they'll pay the hospital directly. And in some cases, if you get the more expensive insurance, they will pay the hospital while you're in there. They'll pay partial. Like if you're in a long-term stay at the hospital, they try to pay them fast. If it's one of the hospitals that Pacific Cross deals with on their other plan, they will pay them faster, I heard. But don't quote me on that, but that's what I heard, okay? Dickie Spaz says, sounds delicious. I don't know about that, Dickie. I'm not too keen on drinking cat poop stew, you know? Philip Rogers says, Detroit teacher that Filipino soda in the bottle tastes so much better. There you go. Yeah, it is better. I will say that. You know, I mean, I always have a Coke around. I like it with ice better, but lately we don't have enough water in the house to make ice, so I use bottled water for ice. Philip Rogers, Detroit teacher that Filipinos. That's it. We just read that one. Mark Norris says, you can buy the Yellow Who card online and get your doctor to fill it out. There are 2 versions on Amazon. Yes. I'm not sure which is better. I heard there was 2 different versions. I didn't really look into that much further than that though. Soda in a bag. Yeah, most of the soda is served in a bottle nowadays. I haven't seen soda in a bag since the 80s. I'm sure people still do it though, because they pour the bottle into a plastic bag if you're going to get it to go, because they want to keep the bottle. Either that or you got to pay for the bottle. You know, Detroit teacher in the Philippines, Philip Rogers. I will give it a try. Thanks. I also like Magnolia tea. Magnolia tea we can get over here. Maximus says Civic coffee is very smooth tasting. Tried it in Bali, Indonesia, where it's called Kopi Luwak, as Michael stated. Marco here says, Steve, have you considered a Zoom or WebEx meeting for a group of us so we can all talk and share experiences? You know what, Mark? That actually sounds like a really, really good idea. Let me ask you guys. I got 73 guys on here. How many of you guys have Zoom? You know, let me ask that. I'll look into that. I'll add Zoom. You know, and we'll talk about that maybe next week. Remind me, Mark, next week, if you're on here, we'll talk about that. Okay, maybe we can do one on the Sunday after. We can do like a Zoom meeting. That'd be kind of interesting. Get us share experiences. That might be actually pretty decent. Philip Jones, what is the cost for the Pacific Cross insurance? I pay about $1,200 a year, and that's a decent price. So, no, is it 1,000? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, 1,000. 1,200. The Tao says yes. Let's see. Smoky Mountain Modeler. So, Tao says he has Zoom. Okay. Smoky Mountain Model, Mark Norris. Will the doctor have to notarize the WHO card? I don't think that has to be notarized. No. No. You know, in England, the doctor is a notary. You know, but in other countries, they're not. But in England, they actually are, believe it or not. Some of you, I found that out last week. The Tao says on my phone. DNJ, yep. So we got a lot of people that do have it. Detroit teacher says, I like the idea, Mark. I have Zoom. Mark O'Hare, I will remind you. Thanks, Mark. I'm actually gonna put that reminder up on my whiteboard, okay, to add Zoom. I might already have it. We'll figure it out. And Michael L says he has Zoom, WebEx, Skype, have them all. Carl Stevens, Zoom, great idea. See, Michael Onstadt, all Pacific Cross plans pay their accredited hospitals directly, except for the peso plan over 65. Michael, I don't think, is that true? Because when I talked to my agent, she says no. But I'm going to have to look into that. Because that's why they have the access card for the peso plan. But maybe they might have changed that. I know that they were talking about changing it. I've been with them for a while now, so you know I'm going off what I heard in the beginning. So you could be correct on it. Maybe it was something that they just changed or something. But I know you're the insurance guy on here, so that's good to know. Though it might be worth then starting to switch over to one of the dollar plans. See, they used to call them the peso plan and the dollar plans. That was the old school way they called them. I think they've changed that since then. I still call it that though. Sinful says, Steve, if okay, I will post link to yellow card. Sure, yes, absolutely. You can also post that, Sinfuls, if you want on any of my videos if you want. If anybody's looking for a yellow card, you can post it up on there too. It might help a few people when they read through, you know. RLV says you can use Zoom, WebEx, or StreamYard to put a face on the name. Okay, we're gonna look into that, and then maybe next week, what I'll do is I will put out some information. Maybe we can do a Sunday Zoom or something like that. That sounds like it'd be fun. See, KM, when you moved there, what were the 3 things that you packed that you wish you would have left home? Let me see. That I wish I left home. Nothing. I was pretty good on what I packed. If you go way back to my videos in the beginning, I talk about everything. I packed way before. And I packed little by little, and I took some things out, put some things in, some things I threw away, and nothing I regretted taking here. I even took a jacket here, and I didn't regret, you know, taking that jacket because I've actually used it on a cold day over here because it's like a fall jacket. and it actually does get cool over here at night. We live pretty close to Tagaytay, and we've had some cool nights over here where it's like in the low 70s, high 60s, somewhere around there. Usually it's like the lowest it gets is like 70, 71, but one night when we went down to like 68 or 69. I think in the past 4 years it's only done that once or twice. Doesn't happen very often. Let's see. Mark Crampit says Zoom and WebEx have limitations if you do not pay for the service. Okay, so that's good to know. I'm going to check into Zoom though, and if I have to pay to do it, if it's something cheap, maybe I'll do it still, because we can all have a good time on there talking and chatting and stuff like that. Michael says select in Blue Royal. Yeah, those are the dollar plans, I guess. They nicknamed them the dollar plans. But yeah, you're right. That's what they are. KM, what vaccines did you get at home before you moved to the Philippines? I actually had most of my vaccines from when I was in the service. I don't know what I got, but I had a lot of them, so I really didn't worry too much about vaccines. I'm probably going to get updated on the Hep B. I did talk to my doctor about that. She says I'm still okay, but I'm getting, I should probably get a booster soon. So that's about the only one I should worry about, that and maybe TB or something. Francisco Fletes says, all my military uniforms, my old ACUs, LOL. Francisco Fletes also says, I turned them into hiking clothes. Wow. Interesting. Let's see, Michael L. What about Google Meet? I don't know. Zoom is something that everybody knows about. I'm not sure. I haven't heard of Google Meet, but yeah, that could work too, I guess. I'll look into it this week. I'll look into it more. But it seems like everybody's got Zoom. We have another guy here. Darren says he's got Zoom too. Darren Cooper. Sinful says, LOL, I have shipped 27 LBC boxes to our house in Salang. Man, that's some serious money there, Sinfuls. So that's a lot of money. So Sinful, sometimes we're going to have to meet up sometime when you're free and you're here, because I think you're still back in the States if I remember right. And Mark Crampit says, I also use Microsoft Teams. Philip Rogers says, what I love about Steve's videos, because I have to ask very little questions. I just went back and watched them, and all he pretty much answers everything. That's, when I do my videos, I think about what you guys, I try to put myself in other people's positions. And, you guys are going to laugh when I say this, but my videos were designed off of, I remember Mr. Rogers from when I was a kid, and I wanted to do an adult version of Mr. Rogers. And a lot of people laugh at that, but it's the truth. Like when you see me sit down in the park and stuff like that, I just took it to a different level, and I made like an adult version of Mr. Rogers, and it kind of worked for me, and I actually kind of enjoyed doing it more that way, because it makes me feel like I'm sitting down and chatting with you, and makes me feel comfortable, because in the beginning I was a little bit leery of talking on camera because I kind of felt funny about it, but then I realized I'm really talking to people, and it kind of like opened me up more, knowing that I'm talking to friends too, because a lot of you guys call me on the phone and stuff. So, it might sound funny, but that was one of the concepts for my channel, was doing what I wanted to do, and I kind of worked myself into that, and after when I did the park thing, that's when I switched over to like the Mr. Rogers concept, and it really took off and did very well, and I really enjoyed doing it too, because I'm getting my exercise and I'm also helping you guys at the same time. And what I do is I sit down in the morning, I do my research, whatever I'm gonna talk about, and I go through everything, and then I just put it out. But a lot of my old videos have a lot of really good stuff in there, a lot of nuggets that even now I've forgotten. So if you go back to my old videos, some of my older videos are better than my newer ones sometimes, because I was fresh on that stuff. So I tell people, watch a lot of my old videos too, that go way back. There's a lot of good nuggets in there, Let's see. Philip Rogers says, what I love about, let's see, we did that one. Philip Jones says, what is insurance requirements for visas there? You don't have to have insurance. Any requirements if you're just doing 30, 90, or 6? Nope, nothing. But you should have some sort of insurance. Some people have worldwide insurance from home, but you're going to have to pay up front. So just be careful, guys. See, Chuck Newcomb says, happy championship Saturday, go Pokes. Michael L says, Hep B, tetanus, and TB. Yeah, those are the 3 that you want to get, for sure. Detroit Teacher says, go blue. JP, 82, thumbs up, 89 views. Yeah, we're doing pretty good here. So darn cool. Morning, gang. Francisco Fletcher says, I'm moving to Saline next month. Yeah, get in touch with me, Francisco. We can meet up. I'd love to meet you, you know. We have another guy here, Darren, and we have a couple of other people, Mike. Maybe I want to meet up with Mike soon. I haven't had a chance to meet up with Mike. Mike lives really close to me too, so it's kind of sad that I haven't been able to meet up with him, but I've been so busy. And we have a lot of other people coming. So Francisco, I'll hook you up with a lot of people here, and we can all kind of connect, and you know we can each hang out with each other once in a while or whatever, or you can come to our group stuff too, because we're planning on having some group get-togethers. We can switch homes or whatever every once in a while or what have you, or we can have them at my house, you know, because I have the cabana here and everything, so if it rains, we're all covered. Marco here says, Zoom, easy to download or can use in web browser. Yeah, I'm definitely going to, I think, use Zoom. Francisco Flita says, Sun Trust, Verona, Salang. I might have seen that before. I'm not sure. I think I've seen the big Verona sign there. Patrick Glenn, do lady boys look better in the Philippines or Thailand? They look better after about 10 drinks. And even then, I think they don't look good. You know? I don't know. I don't really check out the lady boys too much. I see them in the malls once in a while, and they're pretty gruesome looking, some of them. You know, they don't look like ladies at all to me. I see them walking through the electronics section at Tracy Martira's here, and there's one there that in particular that likes to harass people, and he's like a little bit overboard with his ladyboy thing, and it gets a little bit old after a while. And the guy bothered me for quite a while until I told him to stop, and then he stopped. I told him I was going to complain about him if he kept it up, because he just kept on, like, I noticed he was going for expats, and it was like he was trying to bother you to try to get you to say something. And I told him, I'm gonna complain, and I almost did. Red Ranger says you can't meet up with Sinful's. He will be too busy unpacking. Yeah, the B&B box. It's true. Sinful says yes. When I get there, we're still resolving retirement issues with millennials who can't read or do basic math. Yeah, I hear you on that one, man. Red Ranger says Patrick Glenn, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, come on out of the closet. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Sinful's Red Ranger, beauty is my wife already there, set up for me, even bought my new truck for me. The Tao says Zoom on your phone and video chat from anywhere. There we go. KM says message retracted. Michael L says travel insurance is good for short stays. Yes, it is. And you can get some free travel insurance on your credit cards. Certain credit cards used to offer that. I think they probably shy away from that now because of the COVID, but they used to. I've seen people put like $100,000 worth of medical stuff on there in Costa Rica. So it does work. JP, good point, Michael. Sinful's Francisco Fletcher's wife really happy with our house here in Saline, quiet neighborhood. That's cool. That's good. You like it there. Michael L says, I think Chase Sapphire Preferred and Reserve has travel insurance, and I think Amex Platinum does also. If you use that card or their points to book your trip. Yeah, it might be worth thinking about doing something like that, just and see if you get like 6 months insurance or something like that. That could definitely, make your vacation if you get sick. KM said, I've seen a few vlogs with expats saying they have trouble sleeping. Is this because of the new environment or something brought from home? Something? I had problems sleeping when I was in the military, and I had problems sleeping throughout my life. And I noticed as I aged, it got worse. And over here, let me tell you something. I have insomnia like there's no tomorrow. But the other night, I've been taking some sort of antidepressant that they gave me, and it's like a half a pill because they said it should be enough. And they say it kind of makes if you give it 2 weeks, it'll make you sleep better. And actually, I've started to get sleepier and getting more rest lately, which is good. But I'm not still there 100%. But yeah, I'm not having the troubles I had before. I'm not sure why I have the sleeping problem. I don't know what it is. It could be too much caffeine from Coca-Cola, which I don't think that's what it is, because I tried quitting Coca-Cola and I still had the sleeping problems. So it's hard to say. But I noticed that a lot of other people do have sleeping problems here, and it could be because of the humidity. But I have AC in my room, so I can't say it's that for me. But this something, I'm not sure what it is, to be honest with you. Could be years of sleeping in the opposite time zone and coming over here. Maybe that. I don't know. But usually you should adjust. Francisco Fletes says it's also cooler in Silang than Manila, where I've been the last 2 years. There's a lot of places that are cooler than Manila for sure. Manila is hot because of the buildings. It just traps the heat in there. Michael L. says, scan for Adam Apple before asking for a date. Yeah, definitely. That and other things. Dickie Spaz says, lady boys, don't knock until you try it. No thanks, Dickie. I'm good with that, man. I'll let you stick to that if you want to. You can have mine. Philip Rogers says, can I knock it and not try it? There we go. That's more like it. Dickie Spaz. Sinfuls. Philip Rogers. This. Francisco Fletes. I have sleep apnea. I use CPAP and drink Ambien. They gave me Ambien. I won't take it because it shortens your lifespan. And I read an article about that, and it says any sleeping pills are not good for you. That's why I told my doctor I won't take them. They put me on hydroxyzone or something like that. It's like like Benadryl. I think it's called hydroxyzone. I could be wrong. It's hydroxy something, and it's like Benadryl, and it's supposed to make you tired, and it doesn't make me tired. Dickie Svez says, Steve, what do you know about the Lucid Technologies? They're a medical devices ETF. Lucid Technologies used to be in Massachusetts. I remember that name. I don't know that much about them. I just follow the ARC. I like the ARC. I like the person that's in charge, Kathy Woods. I haven't followed much of the other the other ETFs. There is one other ETF I'm going to have to start following. It's the one about AI. It's an AI ETF, and it's supposed to really be good. So it's really interesting. Francisco Fletes says Trazodone, Seroquel, or Remeron, Steve. Won't try them. I won't take them because they said the same about those. They shorten your lifespan. But so doesn't insomnia and not getting enough sleep. So it's either one half of this or half of the other. So Michael L. says, I would read the monograph or the entry in the Goodman and Gilman's with that antidepressant. I'm only taking half a small pill, so it's not making that much of a difference. I usually don't like taking antidepressants. See, that's another thing I usually don't. But I promised the doctor I'd take it. It has made some difference. So, I mean, I got to give her some credit there, I do worry about like a antidepressant kind of changing your personality. It hasn't changed my personality yet, so that's a good thing. In the beginning, I was kind of questioning that, but then, I was like, because they say that sometimes an antidepressant can change the person. And in the beginning, I kind of felt funny. I've taken an antidepressant once before, and I went off it really quick because I just didn't like the way I felt on it. This one here, I don't feel any change, but I do feel tired when I take it, so that's a good thing. Let's see. KM says, I often feel isolated when I'm surrounded by people who don't speak English. I'm hoping the Philippines will be better. People here sometimes around me start speaking Filipino, but they also speak English too, so that's the good part. Mark Krampus says, I have trouble falling asleep, but I get up early almost every day. I believe it's age-related. It could be, but I mean, I've had it off and on all my life. I've had times when I've slept like a baby. When I used to work, I slept like a baby sometimes, and then all of a sudden I had like this 6-year time period where I didn't get much sleep at all. But I mean, I don't know why it just suddenly came on. All of a sudden I was getting 1 and 2 hours sleep, and I laid with my eyes open all night because I couldn't sleep. Michael L., antidepressants have loads of side effects. Yes, they do. This one doesn't, not that much. So, and Michael L. says, Ambien is risky as hell. Xanax is safer. Yes, Ambien is really, really bad. That's why I told her I didn't want to take that. The tau hydroxyzine. Yes, you're correct. That's what it is. I knew it was something like that. I have a whole bottle of that stuff. It's like Benadryl. It's a anti-allergy, anti-itch, all that stuff. Same thing as Benadryl. Yusef Amar Habib says, good evening, Steve, from Nova Scotia. How you doing, Yusef? It's good to see you on here again tonight. Nova Scotia, I love that area. I love that. I love that Curse of Oak Island. I subscribe to that. I actually just finished watching a show on, I think it was last night. One of the I subscribe to it on Apple TV, so I get all the new shows when they come out. Sinful says yes. Steve Ambien does. I stopped using it also for that reason. Claim is 10 years life shorter. See, that's what I'm saying, man. 10 years is a good chunk of your life, you know. Let's see. Francisco Fleta says, yeah, hydroxyzine, yes. Sinful to sleep good at night, you need some attention from your significant other. Ha ha ha, works for me. Yeah. We tried everything. No matter what, I can't sleep. John V says, thank you, Steve, for sharing your thoughts of retiring in the Philippines. You inspire me to retire early and live simple with less worrying about my tired of working to pay bills here in the U.S. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. You know, I hope all you guys out there that are sitting in the United States waiting to come over here get to come over here and live the lives that we live over here. And it's not perfect. I did a vlog, several vlogs about that in the past. I did another one just recently talking about that it's not perfect here. It's what you make of it here. And you can eke out a really, really good life if you just stay away from the wrong people and the wrong things. And, you know, like the people that go up to Angeles, you know, it's kind of obvious what a lot of those people go to Angeles for. Not all of them, but, a good chunk of them do. A lot of people get lonely over here. They start drinking. That's a good thing to stay away from. But, I mean, just the obvious things. If you stay away from that, you'll have a good life over here. If you have good friends and stuff like that and surround yourself with good people, you'll do well over here. Michael says, don't know about the shorter lifespan. However, I certainly do not need to be sleep sysadministration, sleep coding, or sleep driving. Yeah, that's what Ambien does. I knew a lady that she was taking that stuff while she was working. She was an older lady in her 70s. And she almost got killed in a car accident like 3 times on that stuff. Because she was mixing the Ambien and she was taking it in the morning when she did her sleep. You know, she was like one of those pill things with the 7 little things you can pop up, the caps. And she was putting the Ambien in the day one. And she didn't realize it till the end of the week, but she almost got in an accident, and they were wondering if she was drunk or something like that. They were wondering if she had a stroke. They couldn't figure out what it was, and then she realized that she had mixed up the medicines. So it's very dangerous because Ambien's so strong, you know. So let's see. KM says, are the beaches cleaner on the west side of the islands versus the east? In some places, it makes a difference. I would say yes. I think you might be touching on something like that because a lot of the stuff on this side re-washes up on the beach. I noticed from Manila all the way down to like Tanza, we see Manila waste up on the beaches, even on the beaches that are very untouched by humans for the most part. Because there are a couple of beaches. There's one called Mini Boracay that I go to when I go out to Fort Drum. And let me tell you something, the beach is basically untouched almost. There's no buildings there or anything. It's covered with trash on that beach, and it's really sad seeing that. But every once in a while, an expat will go in there and just rake up all the trash and burn it, and then that makes it into a beautiful beach again. Or a big storm will come, and it will wash it way inland, you know. So hydroxyzine is not an antidepressant; it's anti-anxiety. Hydroxyzine, yeah, that's the one I was talking about. It's mostly an antihistamine, but yeah, it does have anti-anxiety things on there too. I'm not sure if that's why she was giving it to me, but she just says it makes you tired. And she says like Benadryl. So she goes like, I can give you Benadryl, I can give you this. And I says, well, whatever one you think is the best. And she said she'd put me on the hydroxyzine because of the antihistamine effect, but also the anti-anxiety. So if I was having anxiety or something like that. So it does help. It is really good. Michael L. says, insomnia sucks, I know from experience. Yes, it does. Rick Zale says, I did 20 years in the military, and now my sleep apnea has been bad for many years. Now I sleep great to a strict daily routine, wake up at the same time, no caffeine, eat at the same time, never late. IR says, not sleeping will shorten your lifespan. Yes, it will. But so won't Ambien, you know. So I'm not sure which would shorten your lifespan more. Smoky Mountain Model says, good morning, Yusef Amar Habib. The Tao says there are apps for sleep and meditation. Check out Aura and 30. I've seen some of those. Yeah. Let's see. RLV says your stream has improved, but still use Converge better than PLDT. I'm gonna switch back next week. I think I'm clearer on this probably. I don't know if you guys see a difference. I'm probably coming through clearer because it's coming through faster, and that might be better. That's about it. Francisco Fletes says, since you have pain, talk to your doctor about this combo for sleep. Yeah, I take tramadol too for the pain, but that pretty much alleviates a lot of it, but not 100%. So I do have problems. Part of it is that I know that already. I already talked to the doctor about that part. Let's see. Dickie Spess says, the hardest part for me in the Philippines is the extreme poverty. Yeah, it can be kind of daunting. You know, everywhere you travel, people hitting you up for money, knocking on your window, tapping on your car, trying to open your door, hitting you up on the streets. It does get kind of old. And then some people have family hitting them up for money, things like that. I'm lucky in that respect. Herb Williams says, try melatonin. I tried melatonin. They gave it to me. They actually give that to me at the VA. And I take 2 of those. I take everything, man. It doesn't work. Actually, I take the melatonin. I've taken chamomile. I've taken the tramadol all at once, and still doesn't help me. So, but let's see. I think staying busy is the secret for a good life. Lots of things to do and see in the Philippines. Yes, it is. One of the things I enjoy here is the fact that I am busy all day, you know, and sometimes I find myself having too much to do and not having enough time to do it, you know. So, but I enjoy what I do. I enjoy doing the vlogs. I enjoy helping people, and I make that a part of my day to help. At least 3 to 5 hours a day, every day, is working with expats here, and I consider that my volunteer time over here, helping people. You know, KM says, I'm doing an oil change while I listen to your blog. It's a good thing you don't have beautiful woman on your channel, or I never get anything done. Ladyboys don't just. Okay. Philip Rogers says, Angelise walking street. That will kill you in many different ways. Yeah, with all kinds of diseases and stuff. IR says, NyQuil, LOL. Let's see. Michael L says, hydroxyzine is a first-generation antihistamine of the piperazine class. Benadryl is an ethanolamine. Yeah. But both of them make you tired, which is good. And the anti-anxiety effect is probably another reason why she gave that to me, plus the fact that I wake up and I usually have an allergy sometimes in the morning. So she says that would probably be perfect. And it has helped some of the things that I have. So, you know, she says she's going to leave me on it, which is good. Michael L says, think of it as a cousin to Benadryl instead of a sibling of Benadryl. There we go. Red Ranger says, since this has now become a medical forum today, all about the non-sleep, how is the shabu one in the area? Joke Lang. Actually, shabu and drugs, you know, since I remember when I came back here in the 80s, I saw people selling marijuana. I saw people selling pills and stuff in the streets and all that stuff. And you know something? Since I've been here, in the 4 years I've been here now, I've never seen drugs. Never. Never even, I don't even think I've smelled it. You know, so I mean, that's an amazing thing. Because riding around in Massachusetts, man, you're sitting behind cars or in front of cars and the smoke's wafting out of the window or whatever. And they're smoking weed and stuff. I mean, it's all over the place. And we're actually free of that over here. So it's kind of funny. And that's actually a big plus to the Philippines for that. I don't know if I like about the way that they did it, but I mean, you know, to each his own, I guess. But, you know, that's one thing I will say that really come out of that was that there is no drugs. You know, there probably are in some places, but I think for the most part it's gone. I have seen people on drugs, but I haven't seen people selling drugs, okay? IR says 5th of Jack will knock you out. Yes, it will. Herb Williams, 4 margaritas will probably help. Haha, there we go. Let's see, Yusa Habib says, I feel for those who have sleep problems. I have had sleep and energy trouble for more than 20 years. Apparently I don't have sleep apnea, and I've tried everything. No choice, but I'll just live with it. Smoky Mountain Model says, you could build up a tolerance to melatonin, Steve. Have an occasional break from it. Maybe I'll cut it off for a while. And I think we're about to end. I'll read Red Ranger's thing here, and then I'll end on that one tonight. We got 111 minutes on here, so we did pretty good tonight. Red Ranger says, Michael L., my best buddy in Philippines, is buddies with with DU, Duterte, I guess he's talking about. He worked for him for 30 years as PMP. When his daughter got married a couple of years ago, DU came to the wedding. I have a lot of time in Davao. But I want to thank everybody for joining. I'm going to look into that Zoom. So, look into that. And we'll still do this here, but we can do the Zoom if you want, guys. So we'll do that, and I'll look into it. Maybe we can do that on a Sunday or a Wednesday or something like that. If I did it like on a Wednesday, I'm thinking if I do it on a Wednesday, maybe in the morning, it might be good for you guys. Or maybe on a Sunday morning, I could get up and do it. And I'm not sure what's good for you guys. We could do something like that, and then you could join me on your Saturday night in the U.S. or whatever. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. I'll try to come up with a good time that's good for everybody. Maybe the same time here, only on Sunday night I could do it. But we'll figure that out, guys. But God bless, guys. We'll talk soon. And if you guys, anybody needs to get in touch with me, Steven5975@yahoo.com, guys. And if you need my phone number or anything, just let me know. Let's see. The towel says Zoom. Just play around with it. Slam the doors, kick the tires. I'll check it out. Definitely. I will. But thanks, guys. God bless. Take care.